Good morning, everyone. It is April the 15th. Well, it's not the Ides of March, so there you go. Caesar, you are free and clear. Although I think you were killed by Brutus before April, so I don't know what that has to do with anything other than how y'all doing? Good morning. Good morning, Wolfram. Thank you for doing all your Modly Mod duty. Thank you, Squab Bob. And Squab Bob is over on the Green website. If you do not like the YouTubes, I am streaming on the Green website. So if you want to go over there, you are free to join me there. Good morning, Colorado Mountain Girl and Ronnie. Welcome, welcome. So we have all the news, all the, well, butt talk stealer news, because I mean, when I saw a headline about Cardi B's ass, I knew I had to cover it. It was, absolutely news that we must learn about because whose life doesn't revolve around the gravitational force of her badonkadonk? I mean, I personally wake up every morning to make sure she still has a behind so I know that gravity is still here. That being said, apparently her behind, her badonkadonk, went viral at a Revolve festival after plastic surgery and injection confessions. Well, this isn't created by Velveeta cheese and ranch dressing. I don't know. It's not natural. Good morning, Photo Lady 12 and Tammy Bogard, Kim Farnham, and 80s Music Man. Good morning. So Cardi B went viral this weekend after she was seen doing her signature twerk during a set at the Revolve Festival. The Bodak Yellow rapper, whose real name is Belicius Amenzar, raised eyebrows on Saturday as she performed at the annual invite-only event hosted by online retailer Thermal in California during the first weekend of Coachella. I mean, I guess she's got your back. She's got your back and your front. While Cardi, who is 32, appeared to be having a great time while she performed her hits like WAP, which I'm pretty sure gave my computer syphilis. So I will be sending you a bill, Cardi B, because I did have to read the lyrics once, and I'm pretty sure I gave my computer syphilis. So you'll be getting a little bit of a detox from my lawyers. Just kidding. I don't have lawyers. That being said, now apparently her badonkadonk made a bigger, impression than her lyrics. Cardi B was roasted online for the bizarre shape of her surgically enhanced body while performing on stage at Coachella. Others flooded social media with support. You leave Queen Cardi alone. She's allowed to, jiggle her lady bits to adoring fans no matter how misshapen. Now, the Money rapper has been open about her plastic surgery and even coming clean about her decision to remove her butt injections over the last few years. Nothing like, learning the miracle of botulism to help with our derrieres. Medical science, we salute you. In January, right after I got the shot, like what? I went and got surgery, she revealed on Instagram in October. I got some more butt injections removed because, it takes rounds to get your butt injections removed. I'm confused. You like scrape out the hardened bits that you put concrete in? What the hell are you injecting to your butt? Now, that being said, it also went in to fix things like fibroids or fibrosis in her hinular area. Now, before her confession in October, Cardi had revealed that she received her first butt filler injections illegally in a Queens basement in 2014 for $800. I don't know who needs to hear this, but straight from Mama Mo's heart, do not get butt injections in some basement in Queens for $800. I mean, I didn't think I'd have to put in a little like public safety announcement. Don't get butt injections anywhere but a doctor's office and really don't get a butt injection. I mean, as funny as it sounds, look, I get the temptation because it's just like rear naked chokehold. It sounds like the funniest damn thing ever, but it has no naked people in it, and it's not even, it has no naked people. Don't get butt injections in a basement. They don't numb your butt or anything, she told GQ. Well, again, you paid for it in someone's basement. In 2018, regarding the procedure, it was the craziest pain ever. I felt like I was going to pass out. She then revealed that she was in the process of having her injections removed, warning her young female fans to stay away from butt injections. In August, I got surgery and removed about 95% of my biopolymers. This woman's using like melted saran wrap. Does she have like the injected soles of Stretch Armstrong in her ass? Could I throw a quarter on it and a quarter at her butt and launch it into space because the tensile, strength is so. I'm gonna think on this. I'm gonna think on this, but I think we might have figured out how to get people into space. That being said, that's about all about Cardi B's ass that I can stomach this morning. So there you go. Do not get butt injections. I don't know why you would. And I come from the land of SpongeBob SquarePants, square Midwestern asses, and I'm still telling you not to do this. Do not do that. Now, on a sadder story, and there really is no segue, this is a more serious story, but a high school student lost her entire family in the upstate New York plane crash that killed all 6 passengers. So, if you are the type to, believe in thoughts and prayers, if not, the spaghetti monster in the sky, this young person is definitely going to need all the support that and love that everyone can give them. A high school senior's life was plunged into tragedy after her entire family was killed in a private jet crash in upstate New York on Saturday. Anika Groff did not accompany her family on the plane that tragically crashed into Kopek near the Massachusetts border. Now, her parents, neuroscientist Michael Groff and urogynecologist Joy Sani, were killed alongside her 2 older siblings, Karina and Jared Groff. Now, Anika Groff's attendance at the same Massachusetts school that her eldest siblings had just graduated was confirmed in a statement from the Weston School District obtained by the Daily Mail. 2 of our graduates, Karina Groff, 2018, and Jared Groff, 2017, their parents and several friends were killed in a small plane crash in New York yesterday. Their lives ended far too soon, and our hearts are with all those grieving this unimaginable and sudden loss, the statement read. Out of respect for the family and especially for our student who is grieving the loss of her loved ones, we ask that all members of our community honor their privacy during this deeply personal time. Our role as a school community is to surround them with quiet care, compassion, and space to heal. James Santaro, Karina's boyfriend, and Jared's partner, Alexis Colladas de Tarum, were also killed in the crash. Now, Karina Groff and James Santaro were both MIT graduates and found found success in New York City studying medicine and pursuing finance, respectively. Now, the couple was planning on getting engaged this summer. So, again, I hope that this entire community is gathering around this young woman. I can't imagine starting off my adult life losing all of my emotional support, all of my family. So hopefully they are just reaching out to her, giving her all the support she needs, and she'll get through this, I hope. It's going to suck like donkey balls, but hopefully she's got support and love coming to her, and quiet support. People that are just going to sit there while she's just sitting in hell, because that's what she's going to be doing. Now, in another segue, because, the news is somewhat schizophrenic today. Well, it seems like Wendy's is torching Katy Perry, because this is where we are. Fast food is taking down Katy Perry, and I'm kind of here for it. Fast food chain Wendy's takes aim at Katy Perry after Blue Origin space flight. Can we send her back? Question mark. I mean, I'm kind of okay with it. Where's the beef? Popular fast food chain Wendy's took aim at Katy Perry after she returned to Earth as part of an all-female Blue Origin NS-13 mission. On Monday, the ET singer joined Gayle King and Jeff Bezos' fiance, what's her face, with the big old lips. I mean, sir, if you want to get away from your fiance, there are cheaper ways than sending her to space. That being said, with all her plastic fillers, I just don't know if that's safe. Like, was there a doctor approval before her lips went into space and they just started, you know, getting everything in and out? The three celebrities were joined by an astronaut and a bioastronautics research scientist, Amanda Nugent, as NASA rocket scientist Aisha Bowie, and filmmaker Carrie Ann Flynn. The star-studded team of women became the woman crew, the first all-woman crew to visit space since Soviet cosmonaut Valina Tereshova took a solo flight in 1963. But after the all-female crew landed back at Blue Origin's West Texas base, an official X account for Wendy's threw shade at the California girls hitmaker. Can we please send her back? The fast food chains, wrote on X in response to a tweet that read, Katy Perry has returned from space. Again, I'm with Wendy's. Can we send her back? Also, I'd like a Frosty. Thank you. Now, the account went on to repost photos of the singer kissing the ground following her return from space. I kissed the ground and I liked it, they retweeted, referencing Katy Perry's hit in the 2008 track, Kissed a Girl, but they didn't stop there. After one person pointed out that Perry and her crewmates only had been in space for a total of 10 minutes, Wendy sarcastically tweeted back, don't shortchange her, it was 11 minutes. Good one, Wendy. A fan wrote to the account, which replied, I'm a woman, send me to space. These people are ridiculous. When we said women in STEM, this is not what we meant, the fast food chain added. Now, Perry and her crewmates have been hit with massive backlash over their spaceflight Monday, with criticism not only coming from fans, but some famous faces as well. Celebrities like, is Amy Schumer a celebrity? Like, question mark, facts not in evidence. When's the last thing she's been in? What is the last thing? That isn't talking about her lady bits like they're gross barnyard animals. That is not funny. Lady comedians, stop talking about your lady bits. If you have to descend to talking about your meat flaps, you're not funny. Stop it. That being said, Olivia Wilde, Emily Ratajkowski, and Olivia Munn, people I don't care, made their feelings on the space mission quite clear as they expressed their distaste following Monday's mission. In honor of their historic Blue Origin's New Shepard 31 flight, which launched at 9:30 a.m., the women's spacesuits featured their names in a nod to their careers. On Perry's outfit, there was a firework next to her name as a nod to her 2010 track, Firework. She also brought a daisy flower on her flight as a tribute to her and fiancé Orlando Bloom's 4-year-old daughter, Daisy. Of course she did. Now, Sanchez's name had a fly near it, a nod to her recently released children's book, The Fly Who Flew to Space. Oh, dear God, do we need to do a reading time? The Fly That Flew to Space. This is going to be awful. But hey, if your boyfriend runs Amazon, you can put your crappy books out too. Honest to God, I'd be doing it too because he looks like Dr. Evil. That being said, if he has a white cat and he says, right. Look, funny guys, somewhat evil guys, people that can pretend to be Dr. Evil, I see the appeal. He also has very phallic spaceships, so that's a catch, ma'am. So there you go. Women went into space. And now the biggest question. What did happen to them Botox, them, butt implants, all that silicone that went into space? More silicone than Silicon Valley, especially them lips. I mean, Jeff Bezos' girl, just lips, just giant monster caterpillars coming to get. Anywho, sorry. I don't know which women need to hear this, but men don't like your lips looking like, a baboon's ass. Just throwing that out there, and you'll save on lip gloss. I mean, imagine not having, 90 acres to put lip gloss on. You never have to go to Sephora again. You're welcome. Well, what happens to Botox, fillers, and implants in space? The experts have weighed in, especially for this chick. This chick is 90% butt fillers. Allegedly in Minecraft, don't come after me. You're already sleeping with Jeff Bezos. Isn't that a sentence enough? Well, will Botox and fillers blast off in space? Lauren Sanchez, fiance of Amazon founder and 90% silicon, uh, decided to join pop star Katy Perry and CBS Mornings co-host Gayle King, among others, on the new Shepard rocket for a historic all-female flight in space in full glam on Monday. Because yes, why go into zero G without primer, spackle, and a little bit of rebar? The new Shepard 31 soared in through the Texas sky with the three celebrities and crewmates, the science people. And they just enjoyed a few minutes in space before returning to Earth as part of a historic 11 minutes, space tourism flight. While the mission is making headlines as, the first venture into space for all females, some people have questioned the necessity of the expensive trip, not to mention how Sanchez's alleged cosmetic enhancement, alleged like Joan Rivers. Come on now. Alleged like Cher, okay? Let's be real. Might react to extreme conditions. It was speculated that Sanchez had undergone procedures to receive boob implants, Botox, lip fillers, a facelift, and other various and sundry tighten ups and, little undercarriage fixes. Although she has never confirmed the rumors, she just went from a B to a double D overnight, like I did in middle school, only I don't think it's quite as real. That being said, if you got the money and you want to have the underwire bra, you go for it, babe. Dr. Stanton Gerson, a researcher of deep space effects on human cells, voiced concerns over the extreme stresses of a rocket launch. You go at about 6,000 miles per hour, and that can, cause sheer stress that may cause something to shift. Oh my God, she would have come back with a boob out of alignment. They definitely not be a pair no more. They're distant cousins, really. So there you go. Her boobs might have come out. Now, shearing stress occurs when forces cause parts of a material to slide past each other, which could be a risk for implanted materials like boobs or lip fillers. Now, the concern is not entirely unfounded. In 2013, a study conducted at Yale University found that women with breast implants sometimes experience discomfort while flying at high altitudes because of the accumulation of peri-implant gas. Now, the phenomenon occurs due to pressure changes, which may trigger a sensation of tightness or discomfort in the augmented boobie. However, modern implants, which are made of gels, again, Stretch Armstrong, doing great, dude, or Jello, and stronger shells are less likely to be affected. So if you have old boobs, if your boobs are over 100, 1,000 miles, Kelly Blue Book value puts them in the early 90s, you might not want to go into space. There you go. So if you've got new boobs, though, A-okay. Cosmetic surgeons have also expressed mixed views about other procedures. In zero gravity, body fluids shift toward the head, which could lead to puffiness or changes of how dermal fillers or Botox appear. Now, you know, they noted that dermal fillers, typically made of hyaluronic acid, are solid and stable in the skin. Now, cosmetic surgeon Dr. Giselle Pardo Wright explained that the fillers integrate into the tissue over time and suggest that no significant changes will occur during the brief space flight. Let's add more. Dermal fillers are designed to integrate seamlessly into your own natural tissue over time. Once healed, they move and behave just like your own soft tissue. Now, astronauts in the past haven't shown changes in facial structure after space flight, so we wouldn't expect any difference here. Now, as space tourism continues to evolve, it does raise intriguing questions about how procedures may fare in extreme position or conditions and things. As the six went sky high in full makeup and designer flight suits. Yeah, nothing like where women see us roar and we're all in skin tight jumpsuits, full makeup. Yep, nothing says strong woman like latex and blue. And Katie, what the hell is this? Looks like when I had to do my daughter's bangs because they cut them and I just kept cutting shorter. Look, look, honey, if your daughter cut your hair with some scissors, just go to a professional. It's just never going to look right. Now, space is finally going to be glam. I second Wendy's. Leave her up there. Perry previously told Elle, if I could take glam with me, I would do that. We are going to put the ass in astronaut. Now, Sanchez told the magazine that she would glue on her fake lashes to make sure they didn't fly off during liftoff. Important things. Now, the women's trip and their pre-takeoff makeup routine drew major criticism from just about every single person who thought this was dumb. That being said, they all came back, so, for our detriment, or this is why aliens, holy God, up close, she just looks like an alien. We found her. She's there. Someone call Will Smith and get the little clicker thing, because we done found the alien. The sad news is they come back. I know. So there you go. Be assured that if you have new boobies, they should be fine in space. Old boobs, though, definitely go check because apparently they don't like high gravity. The more you know. The things you learn on Mornings with Mo. Now, I do need you to just make sure if you're wearing earbuds that you are turn it down a scotch because Lord Chippy needs to be summoned for a couple people and it's big, we need Lord Chippy. So, gird your ear loins because Lord Chippy's coming in hot. Now, these two genetic dead ends that make you question a benevolent and intelligent creator, these two idiots that Darwin couldn't give an award to, this mom, although we call her an incubator now, and her man toy, again, the evidence that Neanderthals didn't actually, go extinct, they did interbreed with us. Decided to unalive a 3-year-old to, quote, make room for the child the two of them would have together. Now, again, I am full and okay, you Lord Chippy people know what you're doing, so you do you, okay? Because I just need them gone, all right? Allegedly in Minecraft. Now, Michigan, what the hell is going on with you? Are you becoming the Wisconsin, like the second Florida of the Midwest? Because I need to know this, because I'm fixing to move in like 2 years, and I need to know where in the hell to stay the hell away from, okay? Because Michigan and Wisconsin, y'all are about to try to outdo Florida. A 28-year-old woman who claimed to be a mother and a 31-year-old man who claims to be a man were arrested in Michigan in the death of the woman's 3-year-old son, who investigators say was unalived in his home nearly 7 damn years ago. These two people just need to be away from my presence. Amanda Mason and Maurice Hole, her boyfriend at the time of the incident, were taken into custody on Friday and charged with 1 count each of first-degree murder in the 2018 slaying of young Matthew Mason. Now, Hole is also facing 3 counts of assault, resisting, or obstructing a police officer stemming from his alleged conduct during Friday's arrest. Oh, this piece of human garbage decided to fight. Now, allegedly in Minecraft, if Gen Pop would just take care of these little issues, we'd be fine, sweeties. Now, according to a Friday news release from the St. Clair County Sheriff's Office, Matthew was found not responsive in his bed of the family's home in Port Huron Township on February 18th, 2018. Now, while no details surrounding the circumstances of the arrest were provided last week, the sheriff's office said that the arrests were made following significant recent developments in the investigation into the toddler's death. Now, during their arraignment hearing on Monday, prosecutors said that Matthew suffered, quote, years of just CA at the hand of both defendants, end quote, per the courtroom footage posted by Detroit NBC affiliate WDIV. We came to realize a scheme where both defendants conjured up this lie of previous injuries to the victim in our case, Matthew Mason, and came up with the lie about how the injury occurred prior to talking to the investigators. Assistant prosecuting attorney John Sparling said Monday, adding that both defendants admitted that the other abused Matthew. Now, Sparling alleged that Matthew was subjected to, quote, cruel, torturous abuse and punishment, such as being placed on timeout on his knees, where his head would be pushed against the drywall. And I'm not talking gently. And being locked in his room for hours on end without food or water. Now, there was a prior time where Maurice had placed a pillow over the child's face and pretended like he was playing, but we know from the autopsy that Matthew died from blunt force trauma from all the injuries that he had sustained, as well as the smothering. Now, the proceedings then took on even more depraved tones as the prosecutor relayed another pernicious allegation levied against both these people. Not to mention, this plan was put forth to unalive Matthew to make room for a child the two of them would have together. Ugh, Sparling said. The Macomb County Scanner reported that during the duo's arrangement on Monday, it was revealed that Matthew was likely tortured and choked to death, with investigators determining that his death was a manner of homicide. It is my opinion that Matthew Mason died secondary to blunt traumatic injuries with features of asphyxiation, St. Clair County Medical Examiner Daniel Spites wrote in a report for the autopsy. The extent, severity, and distribution of traumatic injuries is indicative of inflicted trauma. Now, prior to Monday's proceedings, authorities had not released any details about the boy's death. The Times-Herald reported on the morning of February 19th, 2018, deputies and emergency personnel had responded to the Mason residence in response to an unresponsive child in the home. Now, upon arriving at the scene, the first responders found him inside his home, already passed away. Welcome, Alice G. Now, newspapers in February 2020 submitted a Freedom of Information Act or FOIA request for the 911 call placed in connection to the boy's death, but was told that the recording system for St. Clair County Dispatch automatically deleted recordings after 1 year. Now, Amanda Mason's brother, Andrew Mason, and his wife, Hillary Mason, are currently serving life sentences in prison without the chance of parole for the 2015 murder of Andrew Mason's 5-year-old daughter, Mackenzie Mason. Jesus Christ, it's a family industry. It is a family industry of child abuse. Look, there is a reason that I'm not allowed to have power, because I would go full Sith Lord. Full Sith Lord. But there are some people for which I think there is an island. If we get Greenland, you guys think about it, okay? We send these assholes to that island. We send a thing of food, and it's Hunger Games. I don't care. You have decided not to live by our rules. You want to destroy something precious to us, our children. We can't have you in society. You go to Greenland. Now, I don't know how everyone in Greenland's going to feel about that. We'll put a fence up. We'll have monitors. That kind of thing, but no. They were also found guilty of severely abusing his 3-year-old daughter, Michaela Mason, but at least she survived. So this is a case that is probably one that is going to be a petty express. It is not going to be an easy case, but these MFers need to be shamed, named, and destroyed, allegedly in Minecraft and figuratively, not literally. So guy watching my YouTube to checkify it, that was figurative. I do understand the actual meaning of it, so please comprehend. And as George Carlin always liked to say, this is the language that we agreed on. Let's use the words correctly. That being said, we have other genetic, just defects that continue to populate our world and put crime in it. This ghoul, I've watched Fallout, and I'm pretty sure she's been exposed to radiation. A woman who stayed in hotels while leaving six disabled adults in uninhabitable school bus with three goats in a trailer may be in even bigger trouble now. Now, I used to work with adults with developmental disabilities. This touches my heart mostly because these people with developmental disabilities, the people I would work with in the community and get them out, they loved having their own house. They loved being independent. The gentleman, my client, one of my clients, he worked in the factory and yeah, it was little small jobs. He was, folding cardboard and things like that. But the excitement he would have every day when I would go pick him up from the factory and say, "Hey, what'd you do today?" I collapsed this many boxes. I got this many things done. Okay, what do you want to do? Let's go to a store. Let's go here. And yeah, they do need someone to, be there to help facilitate, behavior and things out in the public. But there are so many things that people with developmental disabilities can do if they're given proper support. And I was really proud of my job. I was really proud of being, a part of helping him get out into the world and experience things that, he wouldn't have in even a generation before. He probably would have been put in a facility and hidden, but now he got to be a productive member of his community and have, a roommate and things like that. So people that take advantage of disabled adults piss me off. That being said, let's get on to the story because let's rip her a new one. Oh, and welcome, Shizzy Raiders. Welcome, welcome. We are on the Lord Chippy, attendance needed section. So we are full of the rage, spit, and vinegar. A woman who has been charged with taking care of half a dozen disabled adults has been charged with a felony neglect cases in Tennessee. Bernice Jarrett, 61, again, I'm saying crypt keeper, was transporting six passengers in a yellow bus from Texas to Virginia, according to Memphis police in a posting announced Tuesday. Police said that officers responded to a medical call at a Goodyear Tire location and found the bus, which also had a trailer attached to it. Now, inside the bus were five intellectually disabled adults and one adult with dementia. One of them was critically injured the day before by another adult on the bus and not given medical attention. Now, police said that the six passengers were living in a space with no running water, food, or, any sort of humane condition. The trailer also had three goats. Now, police said that during the road trip from Texas, Jarrett, who was described by police as the passenger's caregiver, allegedly stayed in hotels by herself and let the adult and goats live in the trailer unattended overnight. Now, first of all, I can tell you all the things that are wrong with this from a used to work with developmental disabilities perspective. Most of these clients are one-on-one. You have one caregiver per one client. That's generally the rule, especially with lower functioning. If you're going to be needing to do more CNA kind of things, changing, diapering, bathing, that kind of thing. That would be a special sort of extra training that you would do. Again, you would not have these people, you would have planned stops, you would have accessibility sites, and generally these are all very planned things. Big trips like this are not the normal, especially, and I speak more from a facility standpoint. So there might be home care, there might be other things where the standards are different, but I'm talking about facility care where this was a licensed, kind of uh, company. That's how we would do. That being said, this is a dirty, skanky, skeeving hoe who put her comfort over the people she was supposed to take care of, and that is gross. Now, according to the police, all the adults were in dire condition, wearing dirty clothes and malnourished. They were all taken to the hospital, one of them in critical condition. Now, local NBC affiliate WMC reported that one of the adults had unfortunately passed away, and that development was confirmed Wednesday by the Shelby County District Attorney's Office. It was not confirmed if the passenger that was said to be in critical condition was the one who passed away. Now, Jarrett was arrested by the Memphis Police Department and booked into county jail where she is currently being held on $80,000 bond. She was charged with 6 counts of aggravated neglect of an elderly or vulnerable adult, 5 counts of neglect of a vulnerable adult, 11 felonies in total. Now, she is expected to appear on or in court on April 11th. Now, she is also being possibly looked at being charged for animal cruelty as well. Now, the local newspaper did state that the goats were in good health and in the care of Memphis Animal Services. So the goats are good. In our last, what the F, although this is Florida woman, so, thank God Florida woman in a clutch because the Midwest is turning crazy. Well, as you can see, she is a beautiful, beautiful sweetheart, and she did dye her hair red, so she did try to warn her husband. A jealous wife ran over a woman spotted leaving a Circle K with her estranged husband. Only in Florida. God bless you. That bitch has my man and my Polar Pop. How dare she? Heifer, I will get my pick six and then I'll kick your ass. She did dye her hair red, so she did try to warn some people. A 41-year-old woman in Florida has been arrested after she allegedly ran down another woman with her Volkswagen Jetta because she had spotted the victim walking with her estranged husband. Don't go walking around with other people's estranged husbands in Florida. Apparently, she'll go all fucking Jolene on your ass. Kristen Reese. Oh my God, you guys, look how she spelled her name. What the parents? That is some bullshit right there. CHRIT or CHRISTDON. Kristen. Look, I have never claimed to be smart at spelling or grammar or nothing like that. Twice college dropout, but I would never do that to my child. Kristen. I mean, might as well put an E on the end and call it Chris Dunn. Dear Lord. Kristen Reese was taken into custody on Friday and charged with 1 count each of attempted first-degree murder, trespassing, violation of probation, authorities announced. Now, according to a news release from the Polk County Sheriff's Office on April 10th, the victim and her boyfriend walked to a Circle K gas station in the 4900 block of U.S. Highway 92 East in Auburndale, Florida, where they purchased several items. There better have been a Polar Pop. That store is about 50 miles southwest of Orlando. Now, after leaving the store, the victim and her boyfriend were walking across Old Dixie Highway. This could not get more hill, Chuck. You got your Polar Pop, you got your Circle K, you got Old Dixie Highway, and you got woman who looks like a potato with some red hair. I mean, honest to God, this is the most hill Chuck thing I have ever seen. Look, as a hillbilly, like, we don't condone this. You're making us look bad. All we want is to have our Corvair on cement blocks because we're fixing to get to it. But, you just give us hillbillies a bad name. She was listening to Jolene. It wasn't her fault. She was like, it started on, she was like, ding, 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 ding. And then she's like, oh, hell no, Jolene. And they were walking, on their way to their friend's house when the boyfriend allegedly spotted Reese, who drove past them heading south on the very road in a white Volkswagen Jetta. Now, apparently angered and just infuriated, as B. Ivory Lamar. Please get B. Ivory Lamar to be your lawyer. I need this in my life. Look, Karen Reed's going to exhaust me mentally and physically. I need B. Ivory Lamar representing this woman in Judge Borowski's court. I know this can't happen physically, but universe, make it work. Make it work. As Tim says from Project Runway, make it work. Now, she was apparently just a little hot under the collar because she saw her old beau with another woman, and she decided she was going to use her car as a weapon against the victim, as you do. Now, Reese then used the parking lot nearby at Family Dollar. Dear Lord, it is the hillbilly hat trick Jealous Woman, Bad Red Hair Dye, Circle K, and Family Dollar. We have hillbilly action. This is like our Waffle House, y'all. I cannot even tell you. This is the most hillbilly thing that I've ever So she made a U-turn in the Family Dollar, store, headed north, accelerating quickly in their direction, the sheriff's office said in a release. Now, the victim began to run down a driveway, but Reese pursued her because, she had locked on. Just like, you know, just like a T-Rex, when a hillbilly woman is enraged, we will lock on. It's like a bass boat. We just glitter and we are there. Now, Reese, decided to pursue her and struck her with her car. Reese then turned around in the driveway and fled down Old Dixie Highway at a high rate of speed. Now, surveillance footage from the Circle K allegedly captured Reese heading south, then making the U-turn and driving north after seeing the couple. Now, authorities responded to the scene and located the victim. She was transported to a local hospital by emergency medical personnel with Polk County Fire and Rescue. Now, subsequent x-rays showed that she suffered 2 spinal fractures, but the doctor said that she was expected to make a full recovery, according to the sheriff's office. Quote, domestic related calls are some of the worst calls to which we respond, Sheriff Grady Judd said in a statement. When people allow their emotions to take over, it can result in injury or even death. This victim was injured, but luckily she will survive the ordeal. Kristen Reese needs to learn how to control her temper, and maybe cooling off in jail will help her. Now, authorities said at the time of the alleged attempted murder, Reese was on probation stemming from a 2023 retail theft charge in Osceola County, which had resulted in the probation violation charge. Now, additionally, during the investigation, the owner of the home on Dixie Highway where the incident took place told authorities that Reese did not have permission to be on his property, which is why she is also charged with trespassing. Now, she is currently cooling her heels at the Central County Jail without bond, online records show. Yeah, attempted murder will kind of get you no bond. Well, there you go, ma'am. You showed her with your Jetta. Good Lord. Thank you, Lord Chippy attendants. I'm glad we got through this with, the least little bit of me. Now, this is a close and adjacent to Lord Chippy attendant, but what the hell is wrong? I think this is a Snake Island offense, if I'm honest with y'all. I feel like this is a Snake Island thing. Now, I could be wrong, but I would send you to Snake Island. Now, a Maui teen faces a 10-year prison sentence for stealing a pet pig and killing it for $1,000. Now, that looks like a cute little hog pig thing. I don't know that I'd have it for a pet, but why are you taking people's pet pigs? Make this make sense. Now, Eddie the pig was adopted by Sarah Haynes a few years ago. She adopted him from a local pig rescue after he was found running around Kahi. Look, it's in Hawaii. I don't know. With scars and rope burns. It was believed that he was being used for hunting dog training. Quote, I adopted him and built a big enclosure and a house and a pool and all sorts of stuff. Haynes, who has a pet sanctuary on her 9-acre lot in Hawaii, said, and I promised him a good life and that I would keep him away from that kind of treatment. But according to court documents, because there are court documents, sometime between May 11th and May 12th, 2 teenagers trespassed on Haynes's property and stole Eddie and unalived him. Now, when Haynes realized she was missing, she noticed that her wire fence had been cut and posted on social media about her missing pig. She said that her phone had blown up instantly. Quote, and it was just one video after another of Eddie getting attacked, and they posted everything on Instagram of what they did. Oh no, straight to the sun for these motherfuckers. I don't care if they're teens. You took a pet, you killed it. Like, I get it. Look, I eat bacon. I eat Spam. I understand that, all God's little critters make wonderful little nuggets and nibbles for me, as long as we do it humanely. But y'all just didn't want to go out and do a hunt. Y'all are, just, and your mom and them are in trouble too, because who raised you? Because, oh my God, we need to have a talk. Now, she said that most of the calls had come from hunters because they didn't believe that the two kids had just won $1,000 from the biggest pig contest that, basically the contest was finding wild pigs and, taking care of a, invasive kind of problem for farmers. But no, these kids decided to be absolute ignorant, lazy assholes, do 10% of a half-assed job, steal a pet, and unalive it. I can't, y'all. I cannot. So what happened? They appeared just moments before the contest ends with a well over the biggest pig because he is grain fed, he's cleaned, and he's neutered, and they couldn't carry him from the truck to the scale. Nobody believed them, Haynes explained before speaking with the hunters. She wanted justice and did everything she could to build a case and said police and the prosecutor were extremely helpful. In January, one of the teens was changed his plea from not guilty to no contest and will be sentenced Wednesday, April 16th. He does face 2 felony counts for first-degree animal cruelty and livestock theft, which carry a maximum of a 5-year sentence each. So he is eligible for about 10 years in prison. Now, the other teen is expected to change his plea. She said the prosecutor has been amazing and has shot down their efforts to get the case dismissed. Eddie was super friendly, Haynes said. Little kids could hug him, and he'd sit. He'd get up and you could bark. He would bark like a dog. I mean, he was just the most adorable, sweet, gentle soul. And, his life started with cruelty, and I was determined to make that go away for life. And unfortunately, it ended the same way it started, with hunting dogs. Now, Haynes will have a rally outside the courthouse on Wednesday, April 16th from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. right before sentencing, advocating for Eddie and all cruelty against animals. I don't want to ruin anyone's life. I don't think there's any possibility of them getting 10 years. But what I would like to see, is a punishment. This wasn't an innocent mistake. This wasn't a confusion about the law. This was a planned attack on my pet, she added. I I totally agree, and I'm glad that the prosecutor isn't just, fobbing it off as, kids will be kids. You need consequences. You need to learn from this. This is theft. This is cruelty. And this is just plain stupidity. And I will never get it. And now we get to why do we hate vegans? Now, I don't know. I don't hate vegans. I just don't want to hear about it. Like, I don't actively hate anyone except for, well, Kevin Spacey occasionally, and I don't do it on like a daily basis, just when I see him. Vegans are hated by meat eaters, and scientists claim they know the reason behind the highly charged debate. And again, if you're vegan, that's wonderful. That's great. If that's your personal choice, good. I don't care. I just don't want to be forced to have to, listen to your choice. I don't tell you about how I love Diet Coke and how you should drink it all the time because it's not healthy and you shouldn't. Just don't try to push your beliefs. That's the problem everyone has with vegans is the loud, pushy vegan. It's not everybody who is vegan. It's the loud, pushy one that like, there's no vegan options here. You guys are raping Mother Gaia. That's what and audio coffee, that is great that you found things that you can have, and I don't have a problem with it. I just preachy people is what get me. I don't care if you're a preachy, Christian, Pastafarian, vegan, just don't preach to me. I don't want to hear it. Look, I usually have a podcast going. I'm not paying attention to you anyways, so you could waste your breath or save it, I guess. People who always seem to have beef with vegans, and scientists say they figured out a reason why. A new study published in the Journal of Food Quality and Preference found that your typical carnivore's hatred of vegans might be due to simple envy. There we go. We have celery envy. Move over, Dr. Freud. It's no longer peanut envy. It is celery envy. We've got kale envy. Now, researchers from a University of Vasa in Finland wanted to understand why a plant-based diet and the use of meat substitutes are still so frowned upon in Europe. The consumption of meat and meat substitutes is a highly charged social phenomenon, Rusa Maria Milana, the author of the study, said in a statement. Now, according to our research, customers who prefer plant based alternatives are perceived as socially different and not in a good way. Now, the team asked 3,600 participants from Finland, the United Kingdom, Germany, and Sweden to give their opinions of a fictional consumer based on their grocery shopping habits. Now, participants were shown 3 grocery shopping lists. All lists, had the same 5 staple foods: pasta, bread, apple juice, carrots, and bananas, but they varied on inclusion or exclusion of animal or plant-based protein products. For one list was for a meat eater that included items like minced meat, cold cuts, and sausages. The flexible list had a mix of meat and plant-based items such as chicken rolls and vegetable sausages. And the third list was heavy with meat substitutes such as vegetable-based dumplings and vegetarian sausages. Now, research found that the imaginary shoppers that preferred vegetarian foods were seen as environmentally friendly people who are competent, health conscious, and moral. Okie dokie. However, participants also resented the faux meat eaters, bringing up feelings of fear, envy, contempt, and anger. In our research, we found that people even wanted to act aggressively toward vegetarians or exclude them from social circles, she shared. Now, researchers explained that these mixed feelings might reflect a prevailing climate of understanding that we need to, oh, screw this, I want steaks. Look, I don't care if you're vegan. I honest to God don't. I don't. Look, I don't. And it's fine. If you don't, that's fine. And if you're my friend, I will try to be as respectful. I want to learn from you. Honest to goodness, if we had nice people that would just teach us things, because if it wasn't preachy, I don't think anyone would have a problem with it. But I know that the backbone of a lot of farming is these animals and these farmers. Generational farmers take good care of their animals. Factory farmers are gross. Let's get rid of factory farming and let's go back to the family-based farming. I understand that we're probably going to pay more for meat, but let's be humane. I think that we could reach across, the proverbial aisle. Meat eaters don't want animals to suffer just as much as, vegans don't want animals to suffer. That being said, I'm sure I've pissed off someone. I don't hate vegans. I don't hate meat eaters. Everything is better with ranch dressing. I'll just put that there in my world. Now, in a heartwarming show of girl power, and this is real girl power, Katy Perry, Suck It. Obviously, they're elephants, but showing better, female power than all those bimbos who went into space, except for the 3 science people. I'm talking mostly about the talking heads with the lip filler. That being said, these elephants, displayed more maternal instincts and girl power boss attitude in the wake of, terror that they didn't understand than most humans are doing. The elephants at the San Diego Zoo formed an alert circle to protect the youngest calves during an earthquake. Now, let me see if I can. Do we have the video? Oh, for the love of God. You don't. New York Post, the only time I need a video up here to match and you don't have it. Sons of biscuits. Horton hears an earthquake. A herd of elephants at the San Diego Zoo acted on instinct and performed, a circle kind of, around their young to protect the calves against an earthquake that rattled through Southern California on Monday. An amazing video shows. Let me see if I can pull that up. Come on. Come on, video. Why is it you are a pain in the ass to me? New York Post. But you can see them all circling up here. The calf is typically in the middle. And they all circle around the baby. This is what they will typically do for predators. This is an all-female herd. Usually elephants is a matriarchal herd. I've watched way too much David Attenborough, but he has a calming voice and he's British, so he sounds so smart. So Yeah, if you ever need to listen to something calming, David Attenborough is always on the top of my list. Now, a herd of elephants at the San Diego Zoo acted on instinct and formed an alert circle around their young to protect the calves against the earthquake that rattled through Southern California. The amazing video shows that they don't have linked. Now, in addition to their gargantuan ears, elephants have a unique ability to sense sounds through their feet. And on Monday morning, the resident herd at the zoo felt the beginnings of a 5.2 magnitude earthquake and sprang into action. On instinct, the crew of 5 gentle giants ambled near the center of their enclosure and formed an alert circle around the youngest members of the group. The footage posted by the San Diego Zoo showed. Now, the behavior is part of a response against perceived threats to protect the herd, the zoo wrote on X. Now, soon after the earthquake passed, the circle broke up, but the herd remained cuddled close together just to be certain that the threat had passed. Now, the quake was centered near San Diego around 10:08 a.m. local time and was felt as far away as Los Angeles, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. So the elephants, while spooked, successfully withstood the worst of it. Along the cities, homes wobbled at the time in the earthquake, sending shelves toppling over and breaking glass knickknacks Southern Californians had on display, according to accounts shared online. So there you go. Like I said, I am totally okay with girl bossing, and this is, in my opinion, the way you girl boss. You know, you protect your family, your young, and your herd, and yeah, that's how you girl boss, not lip fillers and up in space. But that's just me. Now, about space, y'all, and I'm not saying I've sent this to Mr. Mo so we can renew our vows, but I have sent this to Mr. Mo so we can renew our vows. A Las Vegas wedding chapel is offering Star Wars themed weddings for May 4th. Come on now, everyone with me. It's a chat field trip. We're all getting married on May the 4th. Hey, if we do get remarried on May the 4th, I won't share my anniversary with middle son's birthday, which is about the only reason we remember our anniversary. Life with children. I'm like, did we get married today? Oh no, so and so was born that day too. Okay, good deal. A Las Vegas wedding chapel is celebrating Star Wars Day on May 4th by offering a pair of themed wedding packages inspired by the beloved franchise. The Little Vegas Chapel, which previously offered Star Wars themed weddings for May 4th, 2024, said couples who want to tie the knot in a galaxy far, far away can choose from 2 packages titled Yoda One for Me or Love Star. Now, the chapel promoted the packages with photos of staff members wearing t shirts saying, Till Death Star Do Us Part. Now, both wedding packages offer an officiant dressed as either Princess Leia or Darth Vader and can include custom Star Wars music, bouquets and boutonnieres, professional photography, and a video of the ceremony, along with a Star Wars themed wedding certificate. I am here for this. Never has a story been more integral to Monis. The Love Star package is available for $600, while the pricier Yoda One for Me package includes a round trip limousine service and Unity Sand ceremony that cost $860. A Unity Sand. I mean, I have heard that sand doesn't do well in crotchular places. I can't imagine what a unity ceremony is with sand, but I'm a hard pass to that. Look, if I get to wear look, this is in Mr. Mo's greatest fantasies, but if I ever got my summer body in order, I'd go as Princess Leia when she was under the, employ or slavery of, Jabba. That being said, the force is not as strong as gravity is, so it would not be the same effect. Leia, where'd your boobs go? They're down by your knees. Well, I can hide a blaster in there. It'll be great. Oh, good Lord. So, yes, I am sending this to Mr. Mo. I will let you know if he's going to let me do this. I doubt he will. For some reason, he will wanna be an adult and start fixing up the house so we can, possibly think about putting it on the market. Yeah. All the adult things, which are exciting, but, like, oh god, we have way too much stuff, and we have none of the colors picked out, and no one's gonna wanna buy this house. Have you seen what my children did to it? That being said, Mr. Mo has done an amazing amount of work on this house, and I think every bit of it, all the work that he's done, all the projects are really gonna pay off. But now it's like real world adult stuff, like, we need to get projects done. And I am more of a chaos demon, like, when exactly is Easter? Like, 10 years away? That's kinda how I do stuff, so we will see. It's very good. We are now kind of on the same plan. JKD Buck, yes, I will. He needs friends. He's stuck with me. Can you imagine? All the time he comes home, "So what did you do today?" "Well, in this case, this absolute moron." Poor man. He thought he was gonna get away from trials, and then I suck him back in. I show my love for Mr. Mo in multitudinous ways. He's like, "Oh, if you don't have that trial thing today, can you go run errands?" And I was like, "Outside and peopling? You are just testing." All right, you guys, it looks like I can send you over to Ada K. She is doing the Lori Vallow. I have been thinking about dabbling in the Lori Vallow on Petty Express time, so I will probably be doing a poll or a post to see how you guys would like the Lori Vallow. Again, with doing the Karen Reed and that kind of thing, it is going to be slower, but we can cover it while we are waiting for Karen Reed to find juries. So if you want to put in the comments, if you are on Replay Crew, thank you so much for being Replay Crew. Thank you, my lurkers, for being here. If you would like to watch the Lori Vallow trial on, the Petty Express, let me know. I will be putting a community post up. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate so much that you share your morning with me, and I get to share the ridiculous of the internet with you, along with some hard-hitting, stories and things like that. And we get to, send people to Lord Chippy, although figuratively, it is cathartic. So I will see you again soon. I am going to be running errands out in the outside with my Knoll, sweatshirt on for protection. I hope you have a lovely day. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, but have a sassy mouth and carry a can of bitch fire because kindness no longer equals doormat. I will talk to you guys later. Be kind and be safe. Bye, you guys.